Hey everyone, as you can see I'm in my messy office here, and yes, it is a disgrace. It's kind of organised chaos because I do know what everything is, but I do plan on tidying all of this up. I do have a kind of a habit of keeping electronics a little bit longer than I need to, and there's certain cameras and certain equipment that I've kept a little bit longer. You always keep these things because you think you might use them again in the future, and then you don't, and then you're annoyed that the price of those items have went down. But I am, making a conscious effort to get rid of anything that I don't need, which is why all my USB risers are on my desk. Last night I sat them all here because I wanted to annoy myself today, and it has worked, because now it's going to force me to actually deal with all this today and tidy it all up and package it all up, and then I can box it away and then, perhaps sell it or give away or do something with it. Now, as you can see, I'm using my phone right now, and I've just got it on a tripod. So look at this, modern technology. Shaving mirror to show you what I'm doing. But yeah, what I'm going to do in this video is talk about what happened last week with the power surge. And I want to talk about my GPU mining rigs. This is something I've talked about a lot over the last few weeks, but I wanted to give you guys an update as to why I'm not doing any other type of video today, because I will be focused on all of this. So yeah, I'll start with the surge protector thing. Last week there was a storm in the UK, and it looks to have affected quite a few different things. I do have surge protectors. This is one of them. So it's a surge protector there, and the other one is down there. So that one actually goes down to the wall there through a power meter, so I can track the cost. That other one goes to the other side of the room, and you can see my main PC there. So this is what powers my main PC up there. Now, this rig here, most of it was okay, but one motherboard died. So I was able to return that motherboard, and I switched it with one that was down the bottom. So the motherboard that was down rig 1 got put up to rig 4 there. So it kind of worked out okay, because I was probably going to have to sell that one anyway. But for rig 1, this is all the USB risers, and I've got hard drives and RAM and all that for it. I am looking to sell all those things as well, and I'll talk about that in a second. But as far as the power surge goes, the motherboard died and my Ethernet switch died. So this is why I didn't have internet upstairs in my office for a few days. This is the replacement. The old one was plastic. It was still Netgear. This one seems to have worked, and I troubleshooted the other one, but I couldn't get it fixed, which is why I bought this one. The other thing I've noticed which is not working is this monitor. So I've tested multiple HDMI cables. I'm not sure if this is showing, but there's basically a line through the monitor now at all times. I'm not sure if there's any fix to that, probably not, so it could just be screwed, but it's still working. This is a second monitor anyway. It's not a major deal for me. It's not a major problem, because I mainly use this when I'm live streaming. So I'll use my ultra wide monitor, and I'll use it for, I'll have the YouTube like the window open, I'll have the comment area open, I'll have the browser open. I've got multiple webcams up here. I've got another one down there. So I'll have all those webcams running, I'll have all the windows open, but in this monitor what I tend to do is use some, I put Discord there, I put some other things there that I like to have access to but aren't necessary, and I don't want them, crowding the main screen. But yeah, unfortunately I have a line. I have had a problem with my main PC a little bit as well, but I think that's got to do with MSI Afterburner. I uninstalled MSI Afterburner. It was being a little bit funny. MSI Afterburner was basically applying a really bizarre overclock setting of like 65%, and it was basically crashing the PC. So I had to uninstall it. I don't have anything running just now. I've installed NVIDIA Inspector, but I need to troubleshoot that, because until I get that problem resolved, I can't live stream here, because every so often it will freeze, and then it'll freeze for a while, and then it'll pop back up. So it's not a major problem, certainly not a major problem. The PC is still working, everything's okay, but I have some sort of software issue here, which I'm scared to live stream, because I know that it will happen via a live stream, because it has happened with some videos, and I've had to well, basically delete the videos and start again, which is never ever fun. So as far as mining goes, here is my mining tower. So when I started this, I built up 4 different rigs, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and there was 29 GPUs here, and then 1 down in my main PC. So I had 24 1060s. I've sold the first rig. The first rig there is gone, and in this one I've only got 3 on it just now, and you can see that on Hive OS. So in Hive OS I'm mining SafeCoin, and you can see I've got 3 1060s, 8 1060s, and then 5 1080 Ti's. And I actually should have 5 there. I took 2 out already, which was a mistake. Basically, what I was planning to do was sell 4. And because I had 5 there, my idea was to take 1 out and then put it to the top here. And this is when my problems, arose last night. See with the GPU mining, see if everything is working. Don't touch it. Don't change anything, because something will go wrong. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So I attached the 1060 up to the main rig here. In Windows booting, it was seen okay, everything was okay. But on HiveOS, it wasn't working. Now, in HiveOS, you can set the overclock settings, and it works really, really well. Instead of just putting, for example, 150 for the, for the core clock overclock, you put like 150, 150, 150, 150. And if in the settings area, instead of putting 150, which is applied to all these 1080 Ti's, you put 150, 150, 150, 150, 150, and then put 175 for the 1060. And it works really well. It works really well the way it works. In theory, it works really well because HiveOS wouldn't recognize the 1060. It was just coming up in the NVIDIA card or something. It wouldn't recognize the card. I spent a little bit of time troubleshooting it. I checked all the risers, I checked everything. But the fact that everything was being recognized on Windows and not HiveOS makes me, it kind of points to the fact that it's a problem with HiveOS, or at least the settings. So I couldn't get that working. And then at that point, I realized, what the hell am I doing? I'm spending a lot of time here trying to resolve something for what? An extra 10 cents per day is pointless. So I just took the card back out, and now it's sitting over there. So I've got 2 cards there. These 3 cards are going to CEX as well. So on a day, this will be switched off. I'm going to switch this off today. And a day, that will be switched off. All 5 will be packaged up, and I'm going to be shipping them away. And I will be left with 2 rigs. A 1080 Ti rig with 5 1080 Ti's and 8 1060s in that rig. And underneath my desk, I have my main PC. So that's powering all the magic up here, i.e. my main PC. Now, as far as what I'm doing with my rigs, I know this is divided opinion. A lot of people saying, people are so passionate about GPU mining, the responses are very intense. They're either saying that I'm selling too late, or that I'm giving up, or I don't believe in crypto and all that. But the reality is that right now in the UK, electricity costs are very high. And when the profits come down, it really did hit home that this isn't something I can continue to do because I'm losing money. It makes more sense to simply buy the coins. And, I've went with one of the cheapest UK companies for electricity. But even this year, they have put the prices up twice over like the last 6 or 7 months. I simply can't continue to mine on such a large scale. So tomorrow I'll be down to 2 rigs. But fast forward 3 or 4 weeks, I'm going to sell all these 8 1060s as well. So I'll sell, once all the other ones have been accepted, which takes a couple of weeks, I'll sell another 4, and then I'll sell the other 4, and then I'll be left with the 1080 Ti's. Now, if I'm left with 1080 Ti's and that's my hobby rig, this is where I test things, that's all good. I would like to continue to GPU mine, at least from a hobby point of view, at least for testing coins and doing tests and trying things out. But I'm not going to lie to you guys, if I get some offers for my 1080 Ti's, if the offer is okay, and if the profits for mining haven't went up by then these cards will be sold. I'm not going to lie to you, they will be sold. And it's one of those things, guys, I've enjoyed GPU mining on the whole. I've learned a lot. I've had a positive experience. Certainly, from a learning point of view, just getting a better understanding about how cryptocurrency works and getting involved in teams. And I do, I've had a lot of problems with maintenance and spending a lot of time maintaining my rigs, but I don't regret what I did. I don't regret getting into GPU mining at the time that I did. I don't regret it. But I do think right now it is the right time for me to sell. So all these cards will be getting sold. And then in a month or so, I'm going to have to review my 1080 Ti situation. It's just the reality of what things are in the market right now, how things are. But as far as all this goes, well, when I'm talking about my GPU mining rigs and when I'm talking about selling, I kind of, I've been focusing on the graphics cards because those are, the ones that are worth the most value. But when you switch off a rig, so this is the one that's going to be getting switched off later today. And it's fairly easy, I cut the cable ties like this. I cut the cable ties, you click that away, you pull off the USB riser. Obviously you switch all that, you switch the motherboard, you switch the computer off, sorry, you power it off at the mains there. You make sure that's all switched off before you do anything. But once that's powered off, you cut them all out, you take the graphics cards out, and then you can basically start dismantling it. So in addition to the 3 GPUs here, I'm going to have a motherboard to sell, a CPU, 4GB of RAM, 120GB hard drive, and all these additional USB risers. And I do have some other things as well. You know, I've got Ethernet cables, I've got extra HDMI cables and all these things, but I will end up using those at one point, so I'm happy to keep those. Plus the resale value is not going to be much. But for these kind of things, these things should hold the value okay. The motherboard, maybe I'll get like half what I paid. The CPUs, bought for 45, I'll probably get like 10, 15 pounds. It's one of those things. There's not a demand for that kind of CPU. So unless I sell to a miner, chances are I won't be able to sell those at a decent price. But, you know, it all adds up. So I will have to sell a lot of these other things. And this is where all this equipment is coming in. I think the market for risers, the market for these kind of CPUs, the cheap CPUs, it's not a big market. It's kind of a limited market because they're not very powerful. But I'm not going to just throw them out either. So I'll send them to CEX if I can get rid of them. And maybe I'll sell all the risers in a batch lot. As far as the risers go though, you know, as far as troubleshooting goes, whenever people had problems with the risers, they all with the mining rigs, they always said the risers was the first thing to check. But apart from maybe once or twice where I'd accidentally knocked, I'll show you. So you can see it here. So see if you've ever managed your rig and you've did anything and you've accidentally knocked it. If it comes off slightly, then the card won't be recognised. But all you have to do is push it back up and make sure it's secure, and it's fine. You know, it's not difficult. I've been quite lucky. I've never had any problems with risers. I don't think I've actually had any go down. I think I bought about 40, so I've got about 6 or 7 spare. And I always bought them because everyone said that USB risers die. But none of mine ever did. I never had any problems with any risers. I don't know why. Maybe part of it's luck, or maybe because I'm a master GPU mining rig specialist. I don't know, but I suspect it's got to do with luck. So yeah, I've got a lot of risers. I've actually got 2 different kinds of risers. I've got the new kind and the old kind. The other ones are up here. Yeah, so this is the newer kind. These ones are a little bit better. So I've got all that equipment. I've got RAM. I've actually got the M2 adapters. These are like the M2 adapters in here as well, so that you can add an additional GPU. So those are in there as well. You know the ones I'm talking about, if I can get this out. So this is like an adapter, so you can put in another GPU to an M2 slot. So I've got little things like that. Those things aren't worth a lot of money, but you know, I could always ship them away to someone. As you know, you've been watching my videos all year, guys. You've seen these boxes in the background, but over time when I'm selling these things, you know, the area is going to get smaller. And yeah, I'll have to change up the design of the room. At the moment, it's just organised chaos. So yeah, there's a lot of things that I need to work on. I would prefer to just sit and make videos for you guys. I'd rather focus on, you know, a lot of other things. There's a lot of news stories I want to cover. I want to talk about the new 2018, 2080 Ti's. But I need to get these things shipped away. And it's one of those things, you can't just give them away. You want to make money from them. You want to get some of your investment back. But it is time consuming. You need to clean everything you sell. You need to clean the GPUs. You need to clean anything with dust on it. You need to package them all up, and then you need to get the wrapping paper open and get everything packaged up. So I always feel when I do this kind of stuff, it feels like wasted time to me. But I'm going to put the music on, you know, do it, just sit and just get through it all. Just sit and let my brain wander. I don't have to focus on it too much. I just have to get through it all. And yeah, by this time tomorrow, I will be down to 2 rigs, a total of 14 GPUs, one of my main PC, 8 there and 5 there. But the GPU rig is getting smaller, no doubt about it. And, you know, there is, as I said before, there is an incentive for me to continue to mine, at least from a hobby point of view. Certainly for my YouTube channel, but also because I like to investigate new coins. I've not been impressed by new coins over the last few months, but there are some new projects starting that are good. And I do want to look for those projects and maybe get involved in them. So I will still have some 1080 Ti's, at least for the short term. But of course, I am not silly. I know that when I'm talking about selling my GPUs here, a lot of people are going to be angry. GPU miners are a very sensitive bunch of people, aren't they? But I love you all. So this is the end of my rig. This is the half my rig, I guess you could say, not at the end of it. I've got half my setup left now. All these things need to tidy up, and then I'll get back to doing videos about other things that I need to do. So thanks for watching, guys. I know if you're not interested in GPU mining, this is probably the most boring video ever, but for me, this is just, you know, something that I had to do. I wanted to share with you guys what I was doing. I wanted to show you what I was doing and basically demonstrate how much of a pain in the ass it is to actually dismantle a rig. Something you have to go through and do, but hopefully I'll recoup a little bit of my money from it. So, from me, my phone and my shaving mirror, thanks for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. I will do some more videos in the future and give you an update of how things are progressing. And I will tidy all this up in the future at one point as well. So please stop the complaints. But I do appreciate all the comments, guys. I do appreciate all the shares, all the likes, and all the support that you guys have given me. So many thanks for all that. I do appreciate it. And once I've got this issue sorted with my monitor freezing, which is either a monitor issue or the graphics card, I don't know. But when I've figured that out and I know what's going on, I will do a live stream this week, and it'll be good to catch up with you all. So have a fantastic end to the weekend. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Take care.